thinking and doing, I conceptualize about the paranormal, right? So think UFO, think a dinosaur that appeared in the middle of the road while you were driving along, right? Something so bizarre, as opposed to the ordinary tragedies that devolve our lives from people dying, the ordinary things that we all have a chance to experience. These are one-off things. Anybody coming from a place like that?
Oh man,
Yeah.
like I would just say the art I connect with the best have at least one foot, if not both, in the unconscious and in the dream realm, where we go every night and anything can happen. That's the only place you're probably going to run into a dinosaur personally, but it could totally happen. And yeah, the ability to access that stuff and bring the vibration of it back to this world is something that I do all the time. And then on the other hand, it's like, I grew up in Argentina where the traffic cops carried submachine guns and I watched people die on the streets on a regular basis. So at a very, very early age, I became very intimate with violence as an actual thing that people did to each other. So I had like real grounding to matter of fact horror, and then I had my dreams. And then I had Creepy Magazine where I found out about Edgar Allan Poe. And then I went through all of the stuff and all of the art forms. I had my first LSD flashback at the age of 13 while watching Night of the Living Dead in a movie theater, and I thought it was a documentary. So yeah, I'm pretty well acquainted with this stuff.
Right. So what I'm talking about, there are people in this world who will tell you, who will claim in all sincerity and in belief that they were driving down the road and they saw a dinosaur off to the left. And maybe some other weird stuff happened around that too.
Right.
There's that kind of thing. As opposed to dreams that everybody has access to, or almost everybody has access to. As opposed to the imagination, as opposed to these other things. And I'm not going to sit here and say, well,
are you asking if I write because my house was haunted? Because it was.
That's awesome. But yes, that is the kind of thing I'm asking. Are you ready from a place of having experienced something so disconnected from what most people would experience?
Well, there's a lot of ways that can happen.
Yeah.
What Skip was describing about the Argentine traffic cop. The Argentine traffic cop is a profoundly ultra thing to anyone, sadly, who does not live in Portland or Minneapolis, but inherently ultra, an originally ultra thing, a thing we should find so other, so bizarre, and so wrong, that it might as well be a dinosaur. Right. And the ghosts, they don't wait anymore, essentially. The trauma of having been around the patently absurd things that happened around the ghosts are so much more dramatic.
Than the ghost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And I will say that.
But yeah, our reality gets closer.
Monsters are metaphors, man. I mean, all monsters are metaphors. It's my grandpa's, whatever it is. But it's coming from a place where at one point I actually believed it. So for me, I grew up in 1970. I'd like to wait for the door. Go ahead. It's in the corner. Yeah, come in here. Yeah, geez. So I was in a crazy sort of fundamental solutions of the world began in 1975. The bicentennial really blew. We were there for one more year, right? But we were positive. My family was positive. I believed my mom. I believed my dad. I believed that there's a God. And they're also telling me that everything that I do is being watched by demons that are right here. So at the age of 9, I'm scared shitless of what was going to end. I cannot tell you that did not have an effect on how I look at the world, whether I saw actual demons, whether I believe demons were in the cubby hole up in the attic of the 3rd story of my house. All of those things were there. But I can also tell you that when I'm writing these things, when I'm reading anybody else's stuff, I'm seeing where they have taken what they cannot speak to and put that into a monster. Because I could talk to you about that and you'd be like, holy cow, that's fascinating. But someone else could be saying something like, you know, I suffer from Crohn's disease. You're like, oh, that's terrible. That's a horror. And that actually gave us Alien, right? Now, Dan O'Bannon had Crohn's. And he ended up coming up with the idea of the chest burster from that. So monsters are personal, yeah. So monsters are very personal, but they're also some way that we can broadly understand each other's fear. They're a way that we can dance very lightly with our shadow. I like to say that horror movies and horror and monsters allow us to have an arm's length look at our shadows. You know, the Jungian idea of, you know, you have to look at the dark side of yourself and be okay with that side, and then it's not as dangerous. He, you know, Jung said, you know, you can ignore your shadow at your peril. Those are hard words right there, right? So it tells you that if you do not find a way to answer that, it's going to dance with you, and it's going to leave you.
It's going to dance on you.
Yeah, it is going to dance on you. So I would say that that's how I look at the idea. Have I seen Bigfoot? No. Have I been scared as if I thought I saw Bigfoot? Yes. Even to this day, I can tell you, 50 years later or so, a little more maybe, that after the world was supposed to end, and it didn't, but I no longer believe in demons, right? But if there is a crazy noise in the middle of the night, there's this little thing that comes up from somewhere deep in my fat cells like THC, and it comes out and I believe there's a demon. And my first thought, it goes away.